Ledger hacked. What to do? Welcome to the Crypto Profits live stream. In this video, we're going to cover the actual data that was compromised. We're going to actually look at that, scary as it may sound. We're going to look at the available evidence and determine the extent of the hack. I'm also going to tell you or show you some examples of hackers who are using this information to try and compromise your cryptocurrency. And I'm going to give you the 3 things that you need to do right now to protect yourself. So welcome to the Crypto Profits live stream. If you're new to the channel, feel free to type in new in the comments below. I'd love to meet you. And if you're new, you don't know me. And I'm Simon Johnson, and I help people earn a passive income through cryptocurrency. So we are live on YouTube, as live can get. So we're live on YouTube, Facebook, DLive, Theta, many platforms. So feel free to leave a question in the comments on whatever platform you're using. It'll come to me and I'll try and get to it in the live stream. So there is a lot to cover, especially with this hack, and there's a lot of information out there as well that I've seen people publish. Now, before I get into the data, before I get into exactly what happened, I want to give you a little bit of background. I want to spend like 5 seconds on this because I've seen a lot of information out there, and quite frankly, it's either wrong or misleading, or it's scaremongering, and you know, I'm kind of over it, which is why I did this live stream. So unlike 99.9% of YouTubers right now commenting on this stuff, I have 20 years experience in security. So I've advised banks, government departments, you name it, public companies on this very issue. So I'm actually more than qualified. You can see some of my qualifications behind me as well, in certainly in blockchain and you know, in Bitcoin and all that sort of stuff. So I'm more than qualified to talk on this subject. It's what I do. I don't have some sort of day job and then sort of do this on the side on weekends or whatever. So let's get straight into it. You've no doubt heard about the Ledger compromise. We'll get into the marketing PR stuff from the Ledger standpoint in a few minutes. But what I want to do is I want to actually show you the file names and the actual files that were compromised. So let's just quickly jump to that. So what people may not be aware of are these 2 files that are currently circulating online. I'm not going to bring the data up. That would be wrong. But what I can tell you is all emails, subscription, and ledger orders and buyers are the 2 files that are circulating with just hundreds and hundreds of thousands of users in there. The all emails is as it reads. It's a list of all emails. And yes, my email is in there as well, which I'm not happy about. If you've bought a Ledger, or if you're on their subscription list, your email's probably in there too. Now, what that means and the effects of that I'll get into in a minute. But what is even more scary is the Ledger orders. And that Ledger orders file, I'm not going to display here, but it does contain these fields, and I've listed them there. They're not the fields, the exact names of the fields that were in the file. Just to be clear, I've put those there. So your email, your name, your address, your city, state, and postcode, your country, and your phone number. That's a lot of personal information that can be used by people to impersonate you, to gain access to your cryptocurrency exchange, and possibly even your wallet. Now, this isn't good. This isn't good by any means. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that the actual Ledger wallet itself was compromised. So I want to be clear on that. The Ledger wallets, the hardware wallets themselves, were not compromised. Now, what do I mean by that for people who are new? Let me just jump back here. You see, I'll just grab one of these. This Ledger wallet, not compromised. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that you're 100% safe. There's no absolute, guarantee for that. But I want to make it clear. So anyone suggesting that, your Ledger wallet is somehow compromised, you're going to lose all your funds is simply not true. They'll need your passwords and all that sort of stuff, and perhaps the way you've configured it, access to your computer, and, who knows? You know how you've configured this up, right? So let's get that out of the way first. That's not the case. But what is the case is there's a hell of a lot of personal information here which could be used against you. That's bad. That's really bad. Now, what's interesting to me in all of this is when I looked at it. Now, if you own a Ledger wallet, you'll probably do what I did and say, am I in the Ledger orders file? And my order for me was done many years ago. I wasn't in that file, which is odd. Now, when I did the order, I was actually living at a previous address. So whoever's got this file and wants to knock on my door, I don't live there anymore. So that's a good thing for me. But I was in that all email subscription file, and that's a concern. So that tells me that there's possibly more information out there than what we see currently and what's been admitted to, which would be in line with some of the statements made by Ledger. And these statements really concern me, and I'll tell you why right now. I'm going to take you to them. This is Ledger's own website. You can go there right now. It's their support website, and it shows you the extent of the breach. Now, as I just grab a quick drink, early in July, they say, we sent an email to 9,500 customers. But actually, it turns out there wasn't just 9,500 customers. There were 272,000 individuals. That's a pretty big discrepancy, Ledger. That's a pretty big discrepancy. And what it tells me is you guys have got no idea about the extent of this hack. You can't make that sort of mistake. As I said, 20 plus years in security is my background. You don't go from 9,500 to 200,000 without someone screwing up somewhere. Not a good look. So let's go back to the data. That's the first thing that concerns me. Then it talks about, well, our e-commerce and marketing database was breached. Yes, it contains these fields. Well, we know that now because I've just verified that data. And 1 million email addresses have been leaked, 272,000 personal information. And then it says an explanation of, oh, why did you tell us it was 9.5 and, not all these things. Oh, we looked at some logs and we screwed up, basically. Now, here's the other thing that concerns me. And let's not forget, if you're in the security business, what's one of the first things you're going to have, when you own a company? You're going to have somebody who's in charge of security, right? That's the business you're in, right? You're protecting people's information. So when I read this to say, as soon as we discovered the breach, we've gone and hired a new chief information security officer. Well, that's nice. That's like after the horse has bolted. Shouldn't you have already had one? That's my question to Ledger. Shouldn't you have already had one, and why didn't you have one? Now, not forget, I've got a bit of self-interest here. As you've seen, I own a couple of those devices, right? You can see them there, right? They weren't gifts from Ledger, I can assure you. I bought them, right? This is not some benefit of being a YouTuber that you get free stuff, right? I paid money for them. I paid the retail price for them. They're there. And you can also see that I've got their competitor's wallet there, a Trezor wallet as well. So I'm not wedded to any particular brand, nor do I have any sort of relationship with them. I am an affiliate for both companies. I'll tell you that right now. So if people, click on my affiliate links, obviously I get a commission, but I can tell you right now that commission's bugger all, and I don't even think I've earned any money from Trezor wallets anyway, or Ledger wallets for that matter. So that's what concerns me is you didn't have you've said you've hired a security officer, and again, I should stress, this statement made my ledger. Are the customers' funds impacted? No. The hardware wallets are not. Thank goodness for that. Because if that had happened, it would have been game over for Ledger, I can assure you. Because people like me, who do and will speak out about this stuff, who know what they're doing, probably more so than Ledger, won't tolerate that sort of stuff. And, I'd bin the wallet at the first possible opportunity, and I'd speak out about it if I thought it was unsafe. Because for far too long, I've seen companies get into this space who haven't been up to task, whether it be in the security industry or the crypto industry, and that goes for YouTubers as well. So zero tolerance for that sort of stuff. Now, what does it mean for you? Let me put this in really plain English. This is a problem. This is a real problem for people like you and I, who obviously own these wallets. And there are three things that I think people affected by this need to do immediately. And let me actually do this in reverse. I'm going to show you why, and then I'm going to tell you these three things. So I want to show you these examples. I've got three examples here of phishing emails. And for those people who have received emails like this, these are fake emails. These are not from Ledger. These are people who are trying to steal your money. These people are trying to hack into your computer. They're trying to get to your wallet. They're trying to get to your Bitcoin. They're trying to take your personal information. These people are evil, okay? And people like me, and these are actual emails that I received trying to impersonate Ledger to my Ledger email that was in that database. So this is real. This is not something that's been made up. I'm not getting these files from the internet. This is real. That's happening now. You can see that date, the 24th of December, right? So why did this set alarm bells off? Well, let me tell you, for those people that don't know, you can see just above that big black line there is a funny looking, actually, I can't point to it on here, but you can see it's got no reply at ledger.com -EZ29 server, blah, blah, blah. That's all dodgy. That's not Ledger. Now, that's just the scammers being pretty piss poor in configuring this stuff. They're just sending this out. So this is trying to say, oh, you've got a new Ledger device. Oh, there was a sign-in from China. The withdrawal's been delayed. It tries to impersonate them and says, oh, look, we saved you. Quick, if you're not the one who tried to log in, go and cancel. Oh my God. And some people will see this. They won't think. They won't stop and think and go, hang on, is this real? They'll jump in and they'll click on a link and enter their credentials, and it's all over. So I'm not going to click on that. You shouldn't click on that either. I'm not going to show you what's behind there. I could do it safely because I have the skills to do that. I'm not going to do it, but I'm just telling you the easiest thing is to delete these emails. Okay, this is the second example of one of these. You can see same sort of thing. Funny subject line with this Y960. I don't know what the hell that is. And it says your wallet's been deactivated. Now, if you've got cryptocurrency in your hardware wallet and you get an email from Ledger saying, allegedly from Ledger, saying your wallet's been deactivated, you're going to panic. That's what you're going to do. And then it says, unfortunately, due to the new KYC or know your customer regulations, you've got to do some verification. Now, some people, particularly, young or elderly people go, oh my God, because exchanges have these know your customer regulations, and they'll go, oh, there must be some new rules out. I'll click on the link, then you're toast, right? It's as simple as that. So if you get this, don't click on it, delete it. It's a scam. Right, final example number 3. This only happened relatively recently. But again, I can't categorically say that this is a ledger-related thing because it did come to my ledger email, so it's highly likely that it is at the same sort of date range. And I received other emails like this. I just picked 3 of them out. Stellar Lumens. So this is an example of a scammer who's said, oh, look, you've received all this Bitcoin. Go and log into your account. Right? It's just another attack vector, if you like, trying to get your credentials. And as you can see by, it's in the from field up there, it says postmaster at, mgan.blah, blah, blah. So it's, it ain't anyone. It's not legit. Okay, if you get emails like that, don't click on them. Never click on them. Go to your web browser, type in the name of your exchange or the name of whatever you want to log into and do it that way. But don't click on stuff. Clicking is bad. Don't do it. So let's get into what you can do now that all your personal information is out there. It's available for everyone to see. This is almost a nightmare scenario. The nightmare scenario would be the ledger being compromised, but it's as pretty bad as you can get without that being compromised. So I've got 3 things and a bonus tip for you before I go, and that is, I think, this is just my opinion, there's no 100% guarantees in all of this, given your email is out there in the wild doing the rounds, I would strongly suggest that you change your email. Now, the reason is that you probably use that email to log into a crypto exchange, or you might have it in multiple wallets. And you can see I own multiple wallets, right? This is not just you get access to one thing and bang. Change your email. Now, you're probably better off setting up a secure, dedicated email address with with an entity like Proton Mail. I've used them for years. They're great. Or your own other email provider. Don't do Gmail. Okay, I've seen that many people do that. Don't do Gmail. Get a secure email provider who specializes in security. Now, Proton Mail's free. Okay, it's free to use. You may as well go and do that. If you don't want to do that, find something else that you like, and just use that for crypto, right? And you might want to make an email for, one for, I don't know, let's say you use Binance, and you might use crypto.com, and you might use, I don't know, Coinbase. You could have some email companies allow you to set up email aliases, so you might have one email for that, one email for another. So if one gets hacked, you know where it came from, right? So just set up a different email. So that's point number 1 out of 3. The second point is, and this is a bit more of a sophisticated thing, given that people's phone numbers are out there, some of those phone numbers may be your mobile number. Now, if you use 2-factor authentication to log into your crypto exchange, right, now the hackers have your mobile number. Now, what does that mean? Well, could they clone it? Could they, given that they've got your address, could they come around and swap out your SIM for another SIM? Would you even know? Or could they ring up the phone company, given they've got all the information to identify you, your name, address, phone number, the email, the lot, and impersonate you and get your phone ported out to another provider and then use your 2-factor authentication then. So all these things are ways that hackers will break into your account. So the third tip is be careful of those phishing emails. So the emails that I showed you that look like this, don't click on them. Now, this is a big one. This is the way that most people fall victim to these scams. is by clicking on these things and panicking and when they get them. So in terms of and I did promise you this, a bonus tip for you guys is physical attacks. Now, when you get, and I do this all the time, when you get when you get physical things delivered, like a ledger or a Trezor or whatever, use a PO box. Get them delivered to a PO box. It's just an additional layer of security that's over the top. Therefore, people don't need to know your home address. I know sometimes it's a pain checking the post office box, but it's good, and that applies to your phone and everything else. So you're reducing the likelihood of SIM swapping, SIM in the mobile phone, or these porting attacks where they transfer you from one telecommunications company or cell company to another one. Question: Ledger wallets. Is there anything that you're concerned about that I haven't addressed in this video? If there is, leave a comment, and I'll promise you I'll get to them. I may even make a video on this, another follow-up video, because I know there's a lot of questions and people are very, very concerned about this. They really don't know what to do and who to listen to and who to ignore. I'd more than happy to help out the community, and particularly at this really vulnerable time. Now, if you're interested in earning some free Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency over Christmas, check out some of my other videos on the channel where these are legit ways you can sit down over the Christmas break and just earn a few Satoshis, a few Bitcoin, and top up your balance. So I've got some there. I'll link to them in the description of the video below. In the meantime, if you love this video, if this was of any benefit for you at all, feel free to like it, leave a comment, leave a heart, or better still, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. That would really help. So we're a new channel. I'm passionate about this, as you can see, and coming from it in a way that I think YouTube and our crypto community needs, a real evidence-based, no hype, no fear, none of that sort of stuff. So more, I think a more refreshing perspective and a more honest, qualified perspective as well. Anyway, that's it from me. That's it for the live stream. I look forward to catching up with you soon, either on live or on the replay. I will answer those replay questions. So enjoy your weekend or wherever you are, and I'll speak to you soon.